the Heisman Trophy. The most coveted prize in all of college football is given out annually to the most outstanding player in the NCAA. Some of the greatest college football players of all time have taken home the bronze statue after an immaculate season. And then there were those who were snubbed by voters or outshined by a player who made an unprecedented last-minute run. Today, we count down the 10 biggest Heisman snubs of all time. Number 10. One of the greatest plays in NCAA history still gives Keith Byars nightmares.
Here's your ball game, folks, as Flutie takes the snap. He drops straight back, has some time. Now he scrambles away from one hit. Looks, uncorks a deep one for the end zone. Phelan is down there.
Now, it didn't lead to a direct Heisman Trophy snub, but in the court of public opinion, which is the only thing that matters, that one play was the nail in the coffin for Byars' Heisman hopes, leading the Ohio State Buckeyes with over 2,400 all-purpose yards, including a then school record in rushing yards and touchdowns. Keith Byars had a great resume, but Flutie's season was equally as impressive, which is why the voting that took place before bowl season began awarded Flutie his Heisman Trophy. Number 9. Peyton Manning returned for his senior year at Tennessee in hopes of winning both a national championship and the Heisman. Well, Peyton fell short in both attempts. The Maxwell Player of the Year and Davey O'Brien Quarterback of the Year threw for 36 touchdowns and over 3,800 yards. He also led the Tennessee Volunteers to an 11-2 record while winning an SEC title, but he lost to Nebraska in the Orange Bowl. In a Heisman class that also featured Randy Moss and Ryan Leaf, Peyton Manning would finish second behind Michigan's Charles Woodson, who became the first defensive player to win the trophy. Number 8. Did you know that any player from any division can win the Heisman Trophy? Some of the most notable small school prospects to finish in the top 10 of Heisman voting include the likes of Jerry Rice, Steve McNair, and LaDainian Tomlinson. In his senior season, Tomlinson rushed for 2,158 yards and 22 touchdowns, both tops in the country. Though Tomlinson finished fourth in Heisman voting behind Drew Brees, Josh Heupel, and eventual winner Chris Weinke, he would go on to have a Hall of Fame career at the next level. Number 7. In his first year at Oklahoma, Adrian Peterson became the first Sooner freshman to be voted a first-team All-American. He also led the country in carries with 339 and in rushing with 1,925 yards. In each of his first 9 games, Adrian Peterson rushed for more than 100 yards. AP would help lead the Sooners to the BCS National Championship game against eventual winner Matt Leinart. Number 6. Considered by many to be the greatest season by a receiver in college football history, Larry Fitzgerald still didn't win the 2003 Heisman Trophy Award. I mean, look at this resume. With over 1,600 yards and 22 touchdowns, Fitzgerald showed fans how a dominant wideout can completely take over a game. He ended his time at Pitt with at least 1 touchdown in 18 straight games. Fitz finished second in the Heisman vote to Oklahoma quarterback Jason White. Number 5. With one of the most decorated college careers in history, Nebraska quarterback Tommy Frazier seemed to do it all, except win the Heisman. Frazier led one of the greatest college football teams ever to back-to-back national championships, having his best year in 1995. The College Football Hall of Fame inductee went 45-4. He finished second in the Heisman vote to Ohio State's Eddie George. Number 4. Ohio State's Archie Griffin made college football history in his run for the Heisman in 1975. But did he deserve it more than California's Chuck Muncie? Muncie still lost by more than 1,000 votes to Archie Griffin. He remains the only player to win more than 1 Heisman. Number 3. The juice was loose in 1967 as O.J. Simpson, a true freshman at the time, finished second in the Heisman Trophy vote. Simpson led the country in rushing yards and rushing attempts, but he couldn't escape the eventual winner. The award went to UCLA quarterback Gary Beeman. He threw for 1,359 yards, 8 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions. Ugh. He also added 11 touchdowns on the ground, which wasn't bad, but he had no juice. The reason for his snubbing, an underclassman had yet to win the trophy. O.J. Simpson made his case. If the stats don't fit, you must acquit. O.J. got his revenge by carving up the Bruins with 30 carries for 177 yards and 2 touchdowns. OJ and the Trojans would go on to beat Indiana to become the consensus national champion. He would also go on to win the Heisman in 1968 and have a killer career. Number 2. Now Herschel Walker's brains may be mush now, but that's because he was a fucking dog.
So how about the fucking dogs?
As an 18-year-old freshman, Walker rushed for 1,616 yards, 15 touchdowns, and led an undefeated Georgia Bulldogs team over the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. But, once again, no freshman had ever won the award. He would finish third in Heisman voting behind George Rogers and Pitt Panthers defensive lineman Hugh Green. Number 1. In the only instance where the Heisman winner played on a losing team, Paul Hornung won the 1956 Heisman. Now he won this title over the likes of Tommy McDonald, Johnny Majors, and Jim Brown. A consensus first-team All-American, Brown averaged 6.2 yards per carry, rushing for almost 1,000 yards, and scoring 13 touchdowns in 8 games. These standouts lost to Notre Dame's Paul Hornung, as the Irish went 2-8 on the year with these very unimpressive numbers. Now, is this an accurate countdown? Join us in the comments section below. Make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Drop us a line and let us know what video we should do next. We'll see you next time on The Countdown.